All right, we're trying this shit again. I think it was complaining about the bit rate or something like that. And fucking since the last time I did this, YouTube changed a bunch of shit. So I kind of don't know what the hell is going on here. So if you're on, actually, if you just like let me know that you can see this, I would appreciate it because I'm not even sure I'm live 100%. All right. All right, we'll just talk about some bullshit for a couple minutes and we'll see if someone shows up here. So, yeah, this is what's playing right now, actually. I've been so, like, kind of obsessed with this record, the Beastmaker. It's just fucking fantastic, man. It's like heavy riffs and, like, great songs, like with good hooks, but, like, that sort of creep up on you and then stay. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. I think I figured out the problem. All right. So it thinks it's public now. So if anyone's watching this, please let me know because I think I fucked this up when I started out the first time. So if anyone's watching this later on, I'll have you all know that Eric Bauer is helping me figure out if this is fucked up or not. So shout out to him. If you subscribe to me, or probably subscribe to Eric Bauer, but just in case. Shit. God, this is all fucked up. Oh, hey, right on, man. Sarasota Joe, thank you. All right, cool. Now I can get going here because I don't know, man. I don't like to think that I'm totally narcissistic. Like, I'll just sit here and fucking talk. It doesn't even matter if anyone else is there or not. But, like, as far as I'm concerned, the whole idea of this is that it's at least a little bit interactive, you know? So I don't want to sit here and just talk to myself for an hour, is what I'm saying. All right. So what I was trying to do is hype this record, which is what's playing right now, actually. What's this fucking shit? Oh, I see. It's my fucking weird ass work setup. And this is like a chord. Fuck it. Anyway, Beastmaker's fucking great, man. I really just kind of grabbed this because of the cover and because it was on Rise Above at the very beginning of when I started got on the stoner and like doom shit kick. But it's just so fucking good. Like the more like I wasn't crazy about the first time I listened to it either, right? But the more I listened to it, the more I sort of got my head around it. And goddamn, if this thing isn't fucking great, man. The riffs are just awesome. It stays heavy, like there aren't any like sort of corny ass slow jams, but there are some textural differences, like what they're doing here. And yeah, I don't know, man. It just fucking stays with you listening to it. So like the more I listen to it, like I said, the more I like it, and the riffs kind of grow on me and shit. I fucking love it. Beastmaker, man. Give me a show one more time. There's some earlier shit too, but this is, they're kind of new to me. So there we go. Hey, right on, Eric. Thanks for showing up, dude. Because Yeah, you know what I fucking did? I started the thing and I still had it set to private because usually when I set my videos up, I have them default to private so I can like put a funny, clever title on them and shit before it's live. But I still had that on. I was like, how come it doesn't look like I have anyone watching? All right, so what else was I gonna hype? Yeah, I knew I was gonna space. So like, this is maybe the first time ever that I've actually made some uh, notes. Oh yeah, you know something? You're gonna love this. It's so funny that Eric's gonna start. We're gonna start the stream off by talking about the Eagles. Yeah, hang on just a second. I forgot to get this fucking record. Shit. God damn it, figures, man. This stream's turning into a disaster. All right, so check this out, because I've got to show this. It's just like the moral thing to do here. So, hey, Mick and Christoph, right? Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Eagles. Okay, so here's the story with this Eagles record, because it's kind of funny. This was supposed to be like, I don't know if you'd say a project. By the way, if the volume's fucked up or anything, please let me know. Um, so this company I work at, right? There's this guy who had been with the company. I'd worked with him for a couple of years there. And like the company that I'm at now, that company was in the same building as I was earlier, so I'd seen him around and kind of knew him from there. And he was like really like sort of a long timer at this company. And it's a small enough company that we kind of felt it when he left, right? So when his name's Randy. He's a really cool guy. But anyway, I asked him what his favorite. He's a little older than me though, you know. So just to put the musical context, right? So I knew he liked the Eagles, and I've always hated the Eagles. I probably told y'all before, like when I moved to San Francisco from Cleveland, I had about 2,000 records at the time, and I literally brought all of them except for a copy of the Eagles' greatest hits, which I deliberately sort of left in a corner at my mom's house because I didn't want it in my collection. And of course, it's a record, so I couldn't throw it away, right? But like, I brought the Elton John and the Billy Joel, but the fucking Eagles is a bridge too far. And that was like, I don't have a lot of that shit anymore. No. So anyway, though, I was talking with Randy, and I was like, "Well, dude, you know something? We've talked about the Eagles before, but you know something? In your honor, I'm going to give another chance. So tell me, what's the best Eagles record, and I'll fucking go out and actually buy a copy and sit down and listen to it and like try and digest it." So of course, I never had my shit together well enough to like do anything on a schedule, so I never actually got around to reviewing it. But I did buy the record. Okay, here it is, and it's a beautiful copy too. I'll tell you this too. At my local shop here in town, they had like 15 bucks on this, and I was like, I'll pay like 8 for it. But I was thinking, man, fucking 15 bucks for a fucking record I know I don't like, you know? So, because I always thought this was their best record too, you know, like even when I didn't like them, you know what I mean? I would take Desperado over fucking Hotel California any day of the week. So anyway, I was like, so when I brought it to the counter, it was like 15 bucks, and I was like, dude, I'm sort of on the fence about this one, man, because, and I told him like why I was buying it, right? And he was like, well, listen, man, in the spirit of like checking fucking, of just checking out new shit and letting down new defenses, half off. So it was like 7 or 7.50 I ended up paying for it, you know. And I was like, well, that's a really cool thing to do. That's a beautiful copy of the record. So anyway, I sat down and listened to the Eagles in good conscience. And part of why I'm telling you all this, especially because if there are any Eagles fans in the chat right now, I haven't seen y'all yet. Oh, I know Vinylized Fan Club is a pretty big Eagles fan. He listens to the Eagles like all the time. Like I wish he made videos more often so you could see. Anyway, so this fucking Eagles record, here's what I found about this Eagles record. The parts that were good, I actually really liked. But the parts that I didn't like, I fucking still hate it just as much as ever. Like fucking Tequila Sunrise. You know, sometimes a song like that you hear again after not hearing it for a long time, and you'll be like, wow, this is actually a really good song. Like, I got so sick of it that I forgot, you know? Like, Stairway to Heaven's like that, you know what I mean? It's a really good song. It's just you forget because it's so fucking, you know, you gotta hide, you know. So so when Tequila Sunrise came on, I was like lying on the couch just listening. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. I can't believe this horse shit was a fucking hit, you know, like a radio staple. Tequila Sunrise, my ass, man. But like Desperado is a really good song, and I don't even remember it now. Anyway, I like this record a lot more than I expected to. I do not really, well, I'm really not all that interested in softening on the Eagles, okay? But like, I feel like I understand the Eagles better from actually having spent a little bit of time with this. And I really still kind of stand in opposition to everything that the Eagles represent, which was basically sort of the worst of the boomer excess, you know, like the cocaine fueled depravity, you know, in the sort of last gasp of 70s narcissism before they turned around and did shit like, you know, start the PMRC and start a war with Iraq and all sorts of other fucked up shit that the boomers then proceeded to do, right? Shout out to Rachel's channel, by the way, since they're always all fucking boomers on there. Anyway, the first Eagle, so Turntablist, welcome, and welcome everyone else too. I'm reading the chat. I appreciate everyone being here, seriously. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm going to continue to shit on the Eagles because it's fun to shit on the Eagles. They're a really fun band to shit on, and there are certain things about that band that I do genuinely find contemptible. You know, I mean, seriously, like that, like, because I'm not even kidding. The fact that fucking cocaine-fueled Southern California sound, that is the Eagles 100%. You know what I mean? So, you know, but it still could be really nice to listen to a record like that like I have such a low opinion of and go, you know, something, there's actually still some shit here to really enjoy, you know? So, Joe's the only Eagle that Charlie needs. Right on, man. Yeah, and David Vivo is that's exactly what I was trying to get at with the radio killing him for you, especially. Yeah, it's just a fucking radio. There's nothing to debate there, really. Hey, Captain K, you just made my night by saying that I made your night, man. So, thanks, I appreciate it. So, yeah, so was that the whole story that Eagles are? Yeah, so that was like my little review, though. That was just like little things. It was a little tribute to Randy. I doubt Randy will ever watch this. I mean, I don't just like assume the people I work with are going to watch my videos or anyone else for that matter. If you're subscribed to me, I don't just assume you're going to watch all this bullshit. But yeah, it only took me like 2 years. An Eagle stream with Chris at Dixieland. You know something? One of these days, I really want to go up to Dixieland Farm. Like every time I drive through North Carolina, not that it's that often, but every time I drive through North Carolina, I'm like, you know, I really want to stop off and see Chris. But you know, I mean, the last time I drove through North Carolina, I was on way back from my dad dying, you know, and before that, I had like a day, and it just hasn't worked out yet. One of these days it's going to, and I'm going to try and remember that because an Eagles shoe with them would be a lot of fun. All right, so yeah, okay. So the purpose of the stream, and part of why I'm streaming actually, is that this is my entry to the Mercyful Metal. I don't remember what he fucking called it. I kind of feel like a dick. I've been calling it records around the world, but I was like, oh shit, man, I should, you know, make sure I get the title right. But I figure, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm hyping Mercyful Metal. Okay, if you're not subscribed to Mercyful Metal, subscribe to that motherfucker. His channel's a lot of fun, and he has a really good collection. It's not like a huge collection, but like what's in it is all cool. And he's into a lot of like thrash stuff from like the very end of the 80s into the early 90s that sort of came out right in that area where I was kind of not really paying any attention before I got really into metal again, like in the mid 90s or so. So yeah, so like I learned shit watching his videos. He'll like call it and say, yeah, this like third Artillery record is a gem. And I'm like, oh shit, I know the first one. I never heard that last one. Yeah, I think there are 3 Artillery albums. Anyway, contest is over, but I'm still going to show a record I pulled a record from every country that I could think of that I had records of. And it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Okay, so it's mostly metal, especially because it's a metal channel, right? I wanted to make as much of this as metal as possible. And And Charlie, did as far as Eagles tickets being so expensive, that's because of all that money that fucking Don Henley loses from people using a couple seconds of their songs in their YouTube videos, man. That's why they have to fucking copyright block all that shit. Because they lose millions and millions and millions of dollars. They're poor. They're basically like, okay. So well, shit. I was kind of going to do these in a certain order, but these kind of ended up in the order that they ended up in. So let's just fucking do it. And I'm not really counting these. So it's mostly metal. Then there are a few just like hard rock ones, regular ones from the 70s. Yeah, and I think that's it, but we have preamble. So just because the top of the stack, we're going to start with Brazil. Okay, actually, Andy likes metal CDs. About some from Belarus. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, now since I was just talking about how most of my shit is like the 80s stuff, right? And it really is. Like, I have more from like Eastern Europe and the Eastern Bloc, like at the very end of the 80s into the early 90s. But, dude, I hate the fucking Eagles too. Don't worry. That's not going to change. Um, oh, I fucking totally lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Well, I decided there's certain records where I'm like, okay, so does it count if a record came out in the Slovenian part of what was Yugoslavia, you know, do I have to like go look up when all these countries like became independent to like isolate, okay, was it Yugoslavia then or was it Slovenia? Or was it, should I have one from Yugoslavia because it's a band from Slovenia from 1986, but have one from Slovenia because it was from 1998, even though it's from the same city? I mean, you start to get into those kinds of games. So I figured, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, you sort of look at the apex of metal, like sort of the classic era, and where I have the most shit. I mean, let's be honest, right? It's the 80s stuff. So I'm just going to assume the like 1988 world map, okay? So there's no Belarus and there's no Ukraine because they're part of the USSR. I don't think I have. Well, I don't have any records by bands from either of them. I have some tapes, but yeah, I'll just make that a moot point. So it's Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, USSR. Yeah, and I think that's it. It doesn't matter much. Again, I don't have anything from Armenia. So, okay, but we're going to start on the other side of the world. Hey, oh my God, someone from Brazil, and we're going for Mystifier. Right on. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have the cat out of the bag. Let me know if the glare's shitty too, by the way. I think I can see pretty well, but yeah, so this fucking record, like, this is the record that made me realize that I fucking love Brazilian metal. Like, I had heard Sarcophago and thought they were cool, and Sepultura. I actually like Sepultura more now, probably than I ever have before. I was kind of slow to them, but it's like I heard them and like Holocausto and that. But when I heard this Mystifier record, I was like, this record is so fucking badass that like everything else in Brazil just gained a point by proximity too. I mean that's kind of bullshit what I just said. It just made me spend more time with these other bands. Like it was, and when it came to actually pulling one out, it was between this one and Vulcano because I really like them probably just as much. But this is really the one that just fucking blew my fucking mind. Right on. All right. Yeah, Byzantine Records. Thanks. I mean, dude, you think Mystifier is more of a Hellenic sound? I don't know, man. You know something? There are almost no metal bands actually, there are almost no bands from Greece that I really like. Let me flip the record real quick. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like Greece, that Vavel record, the first one, was like I'd seen on lists for a lot of years before that reissue finally came out, and like 20 years ago now too, right? But like I was sort of heard of this as being like this crown jewel of Greek metal. And when I finally got my hands on that reissue, I just thought it was kind of lame, man. And yeah, if you're talking black metal, that's kind of a different scene there in Greece. But yeah, anyway, um, All right, well, anyway, cool. Let's move on, or else this is really going to take forever because it's not like a couple countries here. So this is a of questionable legitimacy record of there are two EPs, Parabellums, on one record like this. Hey, that could be totally true about the Doom shit, Zep Pearl and Grease. I just hadn't really heard very much that. I really like Flames. I'm actually going to show them. It's sort of letting that cat out of the bag a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, Parabellum, though, man. Fucking the Kings of Columbia. I probably like Reincarnacion more, but that's really close, man. That's really close, and this one was close. This is easier to reach. Right on. Yeah, yeah, Parabellum. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. My Spanish is obviously not very good, but this sort of two in one of questionable provenance. It says uh, it's called Un Nuevo Mundo para las Cucarachas. Massacre's good too. Yeah, see, Vara Throne never really blew my mind, man, but I don't know. All right, anyway, kind of glad Eric's on because this is one he turned me on to. This is a really kind of shitty sounding reissue, but like a real Graf Spee will cost you like, like $1,000 or something insane like that. So this thing kind of sounds like shit. It's super rough, man. I mean, this is as rough as anything out of Colombia. But it's a cool piece, man. And just the fact that it's from Uruguay. I mean, how can you argue with that? Actually, man, Uruguay, I don't have, this is like the only metal record I have from Uruguay. But when it comes to like 70s bands, Uruguay had more than their share. Like, they're like, what, like maybe 5 or 6 million people in Uruguay? And, God, fucking Dias de Blues was from Uruguay. Um, but now I'm drawing a fucking blank because I said that. But there are like 3 or 4 really good bands from Uruguay. All right, this is from Argentina, man. This is Rata Blanca. That's their first record. It's also the only one I have by them. That's a great fucking record, man. Not really that heavy. Like, if you want something from Argentina that's a little bit harder than this, like, Lethal is probably harder, but all right, cool. Well, In Flames, yeah, I don't have any In Flames records, man. Sorry, I think you're fucking with me anyway, though, Davis. I almost went like this or did something like that, but you probably get flipped off often enough by Brother Brian, so I'm not going to do that on my stream here. I mean, I might. I reserve the right to, for sure. But if you're watching my ass, you probably sat around more than one, like midnight, wondering what the fuck you were doing while Brian was on your TV going like this. All right, I'm not sure if I understand the question about did it increase in value each country. So, yeah, Lethal is really good, man. I like that one a lot. All right, so U.S., man, and I'm never going to pass up an opportunity to hype Black Death. A few years ago, I called this my #1 record of 1984, and I stand by it. There's no such thing as a better metal record than fucking Black Death. Yeah, that's all I have to say, man. Lucky for y'all, there's a reissue of this that kicks around. I'm sure you can get it for less than $30, but what they called Hell's Headbangers did a really nice reissue of it, though, including the 45. So, and yeah, Goitia, if that's how you pronounce it, is another really good Mystifier record. I like that one too. But even that one isn't as sort of like rotten and crude as that one. All right. Greetings to Eric Weinbender, man. Fucking thanks for showing up, especially because I know you're working. That's funny because that's exactly what I was going for with the middle fingers. Like if someone tunes in right now, they're gonna be like, "Is this just like the Brother Brian like Love Fest?" All right, so here's one for dude. Here's the thing. Davis is saying, "Oh, yeah, I've wondered what I was doing with my fucking life in some of these streams sometimes too." Here's the thing about Brother Brian. He's really fucking funny. The only thing about Brother Brian I don't like is that he plays music because I like to listen to my music while I'm watching him. So, yeah. All right, dude, thumb finger right on, man. Good to see you. Thanks. All right. Oh, have I? No, I didn't order these by value, man. I didn't think about that very much. Okay, here's one from Canada. Solar Eagle. This record is awesome, man. And I think this one got reissued too. Because this one, it was, one of those. But this fucking this Solar Eagle record is so fucking good. It's like I think it's like 88. It's like some clowns in Toronto. I was gonna say some nobodies, but they literally are some nobodies because like they have these really dumb fake names. Like the Axes are played by the Axe, and the bass is played by Pinocchio. And the other two guys are Rob and Smash. So I don't know who the fuck these guys are, right? But this is like a great, like progressive metal, kind of a weird sounding singer, but like all these riffs sort of going all over the place. And like imagine if Voivod were not thrash and were really easy to listen to instead of being really challenging to listen to the way Voivod is. You know what I mean? That's kind of like where Solar Eagle is. Because like at the same time as you're doing all this crazy shit, it's just super listenable. So yeah, that's a real gem of a fucking record. I feel like I've talked about Mexican bands so much. This is almost kind of a cop out, but I'm just gonna show this Gehenna one real quick because this is just a fucking gem of a record too. So this is a Burning Leather reissue. This is Slaughter Extroius or Black Death. Black Death out of those two, but that's hard. I mean, Slaughter Extroius I could put as a top record. It might make the top record for 1985. All right. Anyway, 1987 was the original of this thing. Yeah, and it's just a really fucking listenable, like nice kind of, straight ahead metal record, kind of maideny, like not like them at their heaviest, but not like, wussy either or anything. It's plenty heavy and it's fucking awesome, man. All right. Slavic, as far as Middle Eastern LPs, I don't want to set any false expectations, okay? I have a hard, well, I don't want to do that either. We'll see. I don't know. Someone else count. This is from Venezuela. And I picked this one as sort of a tip of the hat to Mercyful Metal, to whom I hope you're all subscribed, because this was his stream, and he and I kind of bonded over this record. Like, this thing isn't really that heavy, but it's just an awesome, like, hard and heavy record from, like, I want to say 84-ish. It's, like, pretty early. Like for Britain, it wouldn't be early, but for Venezuela, it's, pretty early. And this is just an awesome record, man. Every song on it is just fucking good. And, again, it's just like, I have it filed under metal, but more than that, it's just like sort of a classic hard and heavy sound. Definitely more on the heavy side of that metal wise, but, you know. So I thought about like whether I wanted to do like the non-metal ones at the end. It's sort of, and how I wanted to handle it by region. I'm just going to do it the way they're fucking stacked. Because first of all, it's easier. And second of all, it might be a little more variety. If you don't like one, you're more likely to get one you like next. And this is one you should all like, but it's not metal. And that's the caveat, because I would have had to like do something otherwise, right? Yeah, this is Tarkus, man. And like you think, if you look at this and you think, well, Tarkus, that was Emerson, Lake and Palmer's heaviest record, probably. So this is fucking heavier, dude. This record is so much better than anything that Emerson, Lake and Palmer ever did. That fucking glare looks like shit, doesn't it? It's my fucking laptop. It's like that Hall of Mirrors trick, Anyway, just as Tarkus on there, and on the inside, there's that shit. So, yeah, Peruvian band. Just like hard rockin' 70s prog, man. It's fucking great. This would probably make my top 10, like, hard rock records. And, like, the top 5 would be dominated by, like, Master of Reality, Deep Purple and Rock, Look at Yourself. So, it's the top 10 of those guys. I'm not even kidding. This record kind of sucks. This is the only thing that I could come up with from Chile. I'm pretty sure I have a couple tapes, but yeah, this band's called Kissing Spell, and like it's from the '70s, and like Pinochet was there and shit. So yeah, like it's kind of a miracle that they even got this out, but it really kind of sucks, dude. It's like wimpy, and just the songs aren't very good. I actually haven't even played it in like 20 years. So maybe I put it on right now and think it was great, but I kind of doubt it. So yeah, you think this is good. They're called Los Pajaros, but the band's actually called Kissing Spell, and the record's called Los Pajaros. So yeah, heavier than Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, that's right. Nothing is heavier than Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yeah, I mean, Emerson, Lake and Palmer Tarkus is like whatever. Yeah, Chile, there's a lot of great metal from there, but I really don't know anything about it. This is just a quick tip of the hat, basically. This is a Ross Michael record representing Jamaica. I don't have any Jamaican metal. I don't know if there's even such a thing as Jamaican metal. But I have a whole reggae section, so Jamaica's covered. Although the reggae section does give me an entry for the Ivory Coast. That's right. Yeah, the Ivoirian Alpha Blondie, man. There you go. And this is probably my favorite record, but I really like. It's funny. When I first got really into reggae, I got a copy of Cambodian Rock, like relatively cheap. I didn't like it. I thought it sounded like crap. So when I rediscovered Coco, like years and years later, I wanted to give Alpha Blondie another chance. I always heard this one was the best one. So I checked it out. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Then I ended up listening to Coconut Rock again, and I was like, oh, it's fucking great, man. What the fuck was I thinking? And that kind of got me back into him in a big way. So yeah, I don't know if anyone but me gives a shit about Alpha Blondie on the stream, but if you can like get past the fact that he's not from Jamaica, these are really fucking good records, man. So we're putting back the Ivoirian. How do I learn of these foreign groups? Okay, Sarasota J. You said, is there a Jamaican metal band? I'm sure there is. I mean, there are what between 5 and 10 million people in Jamaica, something like that. There's got to be at least one metal band, even in a poor country. But that's the thing is like getting out, getting exposure. There's nothing from India. You think they have 1 billion people in India. There got to be some fucking bands there, but. Okay, so how do I learn about this stuff? I just spend a lot of time on this shit one way or another. I mean, yeah, Google, I'll look for shit like that too. A lot of times I just look for covers that look cool. You know, if you want a really easy starting point for like really getting into reggae, this is a question in response to a question from Andy likes metal CDs. I never gave reggae much of a chance, but they played some garagey sounding Bob Marley deep cut on the radio the other day, and I maybe want to look into it. Um, fucking Oh yeah, the really early Bob Marley records produced by Lee Perry are really cool. I mean, the Island records are pretty good too. You know what I mean? But they're produced a lot more like pop records, where if you're like, and that's where like I think Bob Marley. I mean, the songs are really good. You know what I mean? If you're sick of him, I don't blame you. I'm sick of Bob Marley. I don't have any of his records anymore because I never need to hear him again. But those are good records, and if you want to step back from sort of like the shit that was more marketed heavily towards the U.S. and U.K., the Lee Perry productions of Bob Marley's are a good place to start. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so we were going to Nigeria. I think I have a record with the band's from Ghana too, but I couldn't find it because I can't remember what they're fucking called. I got in a cutout sale and it didn't rip my face off. All right. So this is Fela Kuti. I feel like everyone kind of knows Fela Kuti too, so I won't talk about it a whole lot. But he's a weird fucking guy. I really like these records. I kind of went on a big kick, and now I'm kind of done with them. But these Fela records are totally worth hearing. They're really kind of unique. I mean, I suppose, strictly speaking, they're Afro beats, but like a lot of that like Nigerian stuff that's gotten hyped hasn't really ripped my face off. You know what I mean? Just because it hasn't. I maybe just haven't heard the right stuff, but I haven't heard a lot of Nigerian stuff that I love. But Fela, I fucking am all over. So cool. All right, so Middle East, we have Jericho from Israel. All right, so I can basically name three bands from Israel: the Churchills, Jericho Jones, and Jericho. And basically, the Churchills evolved into Jericho Jones, and they evolved into Jericho. So yeah, that's right. It's Fela with Ginger Baker. That's a fucking great story. Anyway, so yeah, Jericho. The Churchills were kind of beat. The Jericho Jones one I haven't heard, but I've heard it's like starting to get more rockin'. But this one is like a straight hard rock record, man. And it's fucking fantastic. Look, that Hebrew logo looks pretty dope too, doesn't it? Look at that shit. Yeah. So anyway, this is a reissue of Questionable Provenance on Acid Nightmare Records. Yeah, this is an example actually. Is I first noticed this one. Sorry, I forgot who it was who asked me about where I find out about these things. When I see about CDs, I got a copy of Black Widow's Sacrifice on CD, and in the booklet it also had a little repertoire catalog. So there were all these covers in there that just looked cool, and I remembered this one, and I wanted to hear it for a long time. So like probably 15 years later, when this thing finally got a reissue on record, I was there with my wallet in hand. I love that record, dude. So you know what I like a lot more than the shit from Nigeria is the shit from Zambia. And people talk about Witch a little more, so I pulled out Salty Dog. I mean, I only have a couple records. It's not like I have this huge like library of so-called Zamrock, you know. But this is like a bluesier record than you might expect from that part of the world, and it's just really fucking rocking, man. I mean, look at those band shots too. Like that gives you a pretty good idea, you know. It's mid '70s on Strawberry Rain, yeah, 1976. This is just a real gem of a record, man. Fucking. All right. Yeah, man, it's all the non-metal in the middle here. I hope I don't lose y'all. Actually, I'm just kidding. You can always like leave and come back. If you have to take a crap and you don't like anything that isn't metal, then go now, but be quick. Like, don't take more than like 15 minutes. Okay, so these guys are from Indonesia. This is Aka. I don't know. I saw it on a list and saw they were from Indonesia, and it had that fucking psychedelic looking cover. I had to give it a shot. Dude, look at this. I mean, Jesus. I'm gonna put this on right now. Look at that. And then look at this fucking picture on the back. He looks like he does what he likes. So yeah, actually, I'm gonna put this on right now because we just finished the fucking Beastmaster anyway. Or Beastmaker. Beastmaster. That was a funny little fuck up. Shit, I japed myself. I brought the inner in the other room. I put a stack of records on top of it like a dumbass. Check this shit out. But you know what that means? That means you get to see this purple vinyl. You know, that's what y'all tune in for, is for the vinyls, right? The vinyl records. I almost put vinyl records in the fucking stream title to see if it would make anyone else look. But I don't know. I still think if you use that expression, it shows you're an amateur. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, this isn't really an amateur stream. There, I'm doing the same thing again because I brought the jacket back so I can show it again. I haven't played this in a while. But I remember being like, yeah, I can totally hang with this. Fucking Indonesia, man, right there. Anyone else got anything from Indonesia on their list? I gotta put this somewhere where it's not really metal though, it's a problem, but all right. Shit, my computer just did something. Okay. Hey, Christoph, if you want to update us on that house vote, that's cool. I'm not going to let this turn into politics stream, but yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to the Philippines now. This is another one. This is not an original because originals of this are super expensive. Shake Your Brains by the Juan de la Cruz Band. And look at how this is cut and fucked up. You see that? Like the inner like sticks out like that. You see that shit? That really kind of sucks. But that's just how it is. And even finding this thing is pretty tough, man. Truth be told. Hey, Chris, man, your ears burning? We were talking about you earlier. I was talking about how I want to come see you on the farm one of these days. It sounds like the beginning of a porno. All right, so anyway, the Juan de la Cruz Band is another one. This fucking record rocks. Now, their first record, Up in Arms, is a piece of shit. And there was a reissue of it that looked really nice, although it didn't sound great. Fuck. Like, early 2000s, like 2000-ish, it came out on Shadows. That record is a fucking piece of shit, man. Okay, so if you learned about these guys from me, the Juan de la Cruz Band, and you go out and you buy Up in Arms, don't come back to me and say, hey, fucking Uncle Theologian, you told me that Juan de la Cruz Band was great, but this Up in Arms record sucks, because I will have told you so, man, because that record sucks. It's really bad. Oh, Christoph, listen, I lost my thought. We're going to keep the politics out of this, but if you want to update us on the House vote, I'd appreciate that, because I actually have been following that shit, so, yeah. I mean, not close enough to know that they were in session right now, obviously. But. All right, Freedom's Children from South Africa. I'm just curious, is anyone counting these? Because I didn't. This is another one of my all-time favorite records. And I kind of feel like there are a lot in this little stream, but just because there are a lot that, a lot of times these little one-offs grab me. I never hear anything else from the locale. So I can only name like one other South African band, maybe two. But Freedom's Children slays it all. And this Astro is their best record. All right. So we're going to go to South Korea now for something crappy, because I didn't really like this record. I only have like 2 Korean records, and none of it's metal. Yeah, check this thing out. There's like an Obi thing that I'm not going to bother with, right? Doesn't this look like a fucking, yeah, Nico Malcolm, welcome, dude, and I'm sure you know Astro. Check this out. Doesn't this look like it would be something awesome? Like that fucking weird, like, moonscape, or it's probably lava or something. I mean, it looks like lava. And that's a sticker, but I thought it was a moon in the fucking image, so shit camera. So, yeah, well, anyway, this record sounds more like what they look like, which is like that. Seriously, like, don't be fooled by this. In fact, I shouldn't even tell you this, because I, like, posted this on Discogs, and I'm hoping someone will give me a lot of money for it. Because apparently it's rare. But this record's a piece of shit. Maybe Chromie D would like it. Chromium Dioxide Radio. Listen to Magma, the Korean band, because you might like them, because they kind of suck. I mean, dude, look, Jesus Christ. The fucking Texas. Man. He gets a B+ for effort. All right, and this is almost a cheat, then I have to get another stack, but this is one of the earliest, actually the earliest vinyl version I'm aware of, this Cambodian Rocks record. Some of you guys might have come across this thing anyway. It's sort of gained a little notoriety over the years. But the first time I ever saw this was on CD, and the second time was this record. Which I actually sent away from WFMU, and I ordered with a fax. Anyway, like the thing's kind of glued on shittily, the cover, you see that? It's like a paste on, but they didn't buy spray glue, they just used Elmer's and it got all fucked up. But this is really kind of a gem of a record. There's really no information on this thing. I think some of this information may have like come out since, I don't know, the early 90s when this thing originally came out. But yeah, Cambodian Rocks. Assuming this is actually Cambodian, and I can't even vouch for that 100%. That's a record from Cambodia. Or the band is from Cambodia. All right, so I have to reach for another stack. You're a couple hours from my lair. Alan, let's talk metal. I thought you were like in Ohio or something like that for some reason. So that's more than a couple hours, but you can drive here. All right, how are we doing for time? Yeah, so it's already almost been a fucking hour. Now, admittedly, the first, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes were kind of fucked up. Oh, no shit, in the upstate. How about that? That really is just a couple hours. It's not far. I thought I was the only South Carolinian other than Eric Weinbender. All right. This is a gem from the Netherlands. If you watch my channel a lot, you might know that me and Dutch metal don't have the tightest relationship. I think there's a lot of good Dutch metal, but I don't think there's a lot of great Dutch metal, you know? And a lot of times when I'm listening to a Dutch band, I feel like it's just missing a little something. Like Vault is kind of that way, like Leader to a lesser degree, but anyway, this one is not like that. This one has this really like anachronistic, like heavy organ sound. And it's an EP with just 3 songs. It has one of these flimsy covers, so I stuck it in this thing. Yeah, this record always gets hyped because of Frankie Woodhouse, but I don't really know who the fuck Frankie Woodhouse is. And I've never quite figured that out either. And, well, I was going to say 30 some years of collecting. I've only heard about these guys like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. But this is an awesome fucking record, man. Like, it's not the heaviest thing ever, but it just rocks hard, and it rocks with purpose. You know what I mean? Like, it knows what it's doing. Like, and the song titles on this are fucking wimpy too. Like, I mean, first of all, the band's called Lady, right? I mean, I'm making a big deal out of this, but that's because, yeah, Defender. You know something? Defender is a great band. Yeah, so one of the songs on here is called Stevie. The first song is called Stevie. So is that Stevie Wonder or Stevie Nicks? And either way, is that going to be good for what you want in a metal record? I have no idea because it really never even occurred to me to listen to lyrics. I figure I probably don't want to know. But this fucking record just smokes, man. It's great. Sinister's cool. I try to keep away from death metal. Really, in the spirit. Vortex, I love. All you guys throwing the fucking Dutch bands out there, I'm seeing them, just so you know, like Sinister is really good. I'm not as big a fan of that record as Marty Worm is, but that is a really good death metal record. Yeah, see, I've heard of, now, Alan, I've heard of that other Frankie Woodhouse record, but so what? So he made some fucking record as Frankie Woodhouse. You know? It doesn't mean that anyone gives a shit. He wasn't like in a band that was important or anything. I mean, I don't know. It just seems weird, you know? Like the way on some of those new wave British heavy metal comps, it always seemed like guys from Ian Gillan's band seem to get this weird hype. Like Bernie Torme has like a solo track on fucking uh, what's it called? The one with the fist on it. Brute Force. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Or am I thinking of the one Friday Rock Show one with the Angel Witch Extermination Day on it? Yeah, you're probably right that he was like a local hero or something like that. But anyway, I don't know who the fuck Frankie Woodhouse is, but fucking lady is awesome. Probably my favorite from the Netherlands, okay? Another one I gotta hype there real quick is Jewel. That's a record that kind of goes overlooked. Like you compare what that record gets priced at compared with some of the other shit from the Netherlands, it's a much better record and it's a lot cheaper too. All right, so we're off to Italy for the mighty Bulldozer, motherfucker. Yeah, you know I've always kind of hated this back picture because it's so goofy and it's like they're doing a lot of things right. Like the guy's the mustache, right? The smoking I approve of, but like that fucking shirt and like the faces they're making and shit, that shit really kind of rubs me the wrong way. But I don't know, man. This is a classic, but I'm not the biggest Bulldozer fan, I'll be honest. But then I'm not the biggest Motorhead fan, you know. So, and I hate to pull out like the Italian Motorhead business because that just seems kind of you know, tired and obvious. But Bulldozer is definitely cool too. Don't get me wrong. This is not the greatest thing ever, which is sort of like this one, really. This is a really fun record, too. This is from Sweden, and I sort of jumping around a little bit. This is the first EP by Gotham City when they still had that really shitty singer, Ola Olsson, uh, who is really kind of love him or hate him because, like, technically he's super bad, but, like, if you can get past that, you can kind of go, man, this is fucking awesome, you know? So, The Unknown, I suppose, is like the better Gotham City record, but I wanted to pull this out and tip my hat to Mr. Olson because he's my kind of guy, man. If that's what your voice sounds like and you have the balls to stand up in front of fucking epic band like Gotham City, you're my friend, dude. Seriously. I don't know which one of them is which, but I really want to believe the dude with the bullet belt and the discharge shirt is fucking Ola Olson. You know, I could probably look most of the shit up on the internet, but you see, it's no fun to. You know, it's more fun to just make up your own stories. Like, I could sit here and read Wikipedia to you, right? Or I could just make up stories. Yeah, Colin Towns on Brute Force. There you go. And like, there's this other motherfucker too who there's Bernie Torme, and then there was someone else from Ian Gillan's band, wasn't there? Who like had these fucking songs turn up on these compilations. Maybe I'm thinking of Colin Towns. Anyway, right on. Welcome, Vinyl Richie. All right, so I actually have two from Germany. I pulled this one out because it's funny. Um, People kind of seem to settle into camps as far as their favorite Sodom between um, Obsessed by Cruelty, Persecution Mania, and Agent Orange, which are maybe a little closer together, and then the later shit. You know what I mean? And this record never really gets talked about. But when this one came out, yeah, in '87, it got a lot of hype. Like as much as like you know you're gonna get hype from a label like Steamhammer, like Sodomy and Lust by Sodom was promoted pretty heavily. So yeah, this record's really kind of close to my heart. Even though I don't know, I mean I'm probably a Persecution Mania guy. Although it depends on when you catch me. I might be Agent Orange, you know. But yeah, this Experse of Sodomy record, it's just fucking unbeatable, dude. I don't know, man. All right, cool. And then I pulled this one out too, just because it's fucking awesome. This fucking Satan's Gift by Death Row. And yes, this is the same record as what's it called? Legions of Doom, I think. I think it even says it on the label. Servus Jürgen. Yeah, it even says Riders of Doom on the label there, if you can see that. And but yeah, this is just so fucking good, man. I remember this is the kind of shit that I would see when it was like, you know, '87 and I was like a kid and religious, and I'd be like, whoa, fucking Satan's Gift, and look at that. That's Satan's Gift. fucking liver. Maybe it's a heart, I can't tell, but it's fucking intimidating. Anyway, this record is fucking fantastic, too. Little band I was a little slow on. Didn't pay much attention back in the day, and then I got a couple other records when I got back into speed metal. I didn't really think much of them, and then I got them again later, and I was like, holy fuck, these are good. Dude, I've been keeping an eye out for that Sweet Cheater record for a long time, man. Yeah, Sweet Cheater, because that record's relatively cheap, too, but you have to get it shipped from Germany if you're over here, you know what I mean? It's like you can get one for 20 euro or less, but, you know. But yeah, I've heard that it's good. I want to check that out one of these days and see if I can go listen to it online, but that's no fun. I'd rather hunt down the record and then I'm like, let's check out this record and see if it's good. And then I come on here and I'd say it's a piece of shit, but I like it anyway, just like everything else. Just like Flames, Made in Hell from Greece. Yeah, someone actually said something about this band before. I don't remember if it was about this one or the one after it, though, which goes to show how good my memory is. Oh, Jurgen, you don't have to go to any effort. I appreciate that, but we can talk, though. Yeah, so this is a Greek metal record, and it's thrashy and it's really kind of dirty. Like, it's like if you took, yeah, this is fucking awesome, this album art. And the next LP is great, too, Eric Bauer. It was kind of close between pulling out that one and pulling out this one, but I like this cover better. And I have to put another record, so shit, maybe I'll put this on. No, I'm probably going to put something else on. I'm going to put on Flames. All right, give me a sec here. So, yeah, the lyrics on the inner, which, normally I disapprove of, but, these lyrics, they're going to be good. So this is from False Alarm. I see me running, but I don't know where to. I know I believe I'm trying to break through. I'm trying to reach you, but you're so hard to find. You feed the pain inside my mind. This is probably a ballad. So it's fucking awesome. It is strange artwork, and it's like 86, I want to say. Yeah, hang on a sec. But yeah, Flames, they're really kind of, they were really for a dirty sounding thrash band for their time. Now, this is 85, and this is their first one. And so if you compare that to, what was coming out of Germany and that at the same time, I mean, it was comparable, but given, Greece was having some trouble in the 80s. So you get a lot of credit from me. All right. Lucifer's Friend is really good. It's yeah, I mean, I think their first record is fantastic. I think their second one is okay. And after that, I don't have a lot of use for them. That first record is great, though, Fraser. So, right on. Yeah, this record is almost like if you took Show No Mercy by Slayer and you took out all the hooks, you'd have Flames. I don't know if you can hear it coming through, but it sounds really dirty. Like people seem to talk about their third and fourth records more, and those are really good, but those are almost more conventional thrash records compared to these first couple, which just sound weird. The only comparison point that I can think of right off even is what do you call it? Deliverance, the band that did like Devil's Meat and shit, because it just has a weird color to it. So, all right, so for Russia here, I pulled out the Varvar record, and again, this is like it's 94, this one, so I don't know if it was really Soviet Union anymore, but on behalf of the Soviet Union, we have, yeah, Varvar. And if Mr. Lazarus is watching, I pulled this one out for you. Great, great record. Yeah. All right. So next up is Turkey. I have a few like 80s, like I mean not 80s, like some of that 60s, like and 70s, like Turkish psych shit, like Uchurel and Erkin Kore, but I'm not really crazy about that shit. I do love this one though. It's really kind of not great, this record, but it's really awesome. The corniest thing about it is that the record's called "War Is Over." I don't know who the fuck thought that would be cute, but yeah, that was really dumb. So yeah, but you know, this isn't really very heavy. It's more like a hard rock record, and it's a little bit goofy. But first of all, it's awesome. And second of all, it's from Turkey, man. You're in the camera, just so you know. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're in the camera. You were, anyway. So let me know, and I'll adjust. I'll move the thing next time. It's fine. Oh, now you're in there again. Sorry, I didn't think the setup would do that. Bon Scott's, yeah, Dr. Skull, exactly. It's called Dr. Skull. Like, as bad as dumb as it is to call your record "War Is Over," like, I mean, if your band is called Dr. Skull, that like puts so much weight on the other side of the scale that, yeah. All right, so for an Australian one, man, we have Zen Venom. I thought about pulling out, you know, Teramis or something like that, but this is where the value is, I guess, factored into it somewhat. I figure people show this one less often, so I'll show my copy. Yeah, the Valentines were an early one. Fraternity was the other early Bon Scott band, by the way. That's right. I don't know which one was first, though. I feel like the Valentines were first, but I never really hunted that shit down, honestly. I did take the trouble to check out Geordie with Brian Johnson, and, you know. All right, so here's one from Japan. There isn't a lot of Japanese metal that I'm really crazy about, but I really like this record. This is Lazy. And yeah, Taipan is fucking great. Absolutely. Mr. Let's Talk. So yeah, this is Lazy, Earth Arc. And this is like sort of a predecessor to Loudness, apparently. I don't know, like Akira Takasaki, I think, is the main guy who was in both bands, but I don't even know because, you know, I just don't know this shit that well. But this is cool. I'm trying to get the insert out. Yeah, there they are. Look at that shit. They're not looking very lazy to me, man. They're looking like they're gonna fucking play some rock and roll. I'm fucking this up. There we go. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, this is a really cool record. I like this better than anything by Loudness. Someone left me a comment about Loudness on a recent video, and so I actually pulled out my copy of Disillusion and played it again. And I don't know, it's okay. It doesn't really hold my attention all the way through. Is kind of my problem with that record, you know. And all of Loudness's records, you know, it's like the theory I like a lot more than the practice when it comes down to it. So, but Lazy I love. It's actually, if any of you remembers Monster Records, you know, pre-Rockadrome, it was Phil who turned me on to this band. Mr. Phil Baker, who's no longer with us. All right, I have a couple bonus records. These I'm going to save for the end. Now, I already showed some that aren't metal, so what could make the bonus records so different? Just have to stay tuned and find out. Got an hour and 15 minutes already. Okay, so Norway, I couldn't think of anything. I think there's more out there. There's some really good 70s hard rock from Norway, but I couldn't think of anyone else, so I pulled out the TNT. I figured this first one, where it was still in Norwegian, gets shown a little less often than Knights of the New Thunder. I actually like this stuff. This isn't really bad. I mean, it's not very heavy, you know? But as far as like just a decent rock and roll album, I think TNT is pretty good, you know? Oh, Hobbs Angel of Death is fucking fantastic from Australia. Yeah, I should have thought of that. So, all right, cool. So, TNT is for my Norway entry. Now what? Hang on, I gotta fucking get another drink. Is what happens now. I'll tell you though, we're going to France. Hey, check this shit out. I'm gonna drink a fucking Yoo-hoo. You know, I actually have a soda I could bust out too. Should I bust out a soda or drink a Yoo-hoo? Let me do a quick poll. No, I'm just fucking around. I want a Yoo-hoo. I'll do the soda another time. But still, man. All right, so for France, I put on Axton Prite. I don't think this one gets shown very much. This is the Lab. It's an EP. And these guys were actually unusual because they sang in English, and most of the French bands sang in French. So, yeah, the cover's layout is kind of weird, but that picture's kind of ominous in a good way, you know. Unfortunately, they don't look they don't play quite as wimpy as they look. So this isn't really the greatest thing ever. This is almost like a lost new wave British heavy metal record as far as how this one like the color of it. I feel like anyway, you know, it's funny. I feel like in spirit, it's a little bit more. I don't know. It feels like it wants to be prog metal, but it sounds more like new wave British heavy metal. So I don't know. From Finland, here we have Taro. This is another one that I want to like more than I actually do like. I think one day this one's going to click for me, but up till now, it's always a little bit softer than I expect it to be, a little bit less like catchy or catching me anyway. I mean, catchy isn't really what I mean. I mean like something that is it for me, but I think Bon Scott was from Scotland, but I could be wrong. I've actually never listened to Anthem, believe it or not. Someone asked me about the Japanese band. All right, from Portugal, we have Tarantula. I think this might be my only Portuguese metal record. I feel like there's got to be more though. But anyway, Tarantula. Their first record is really kind of sought after by, including by me. This second one, Kingdom of Lusitania, got this reissue though, which is only like $20. You have to have it shipped from Europe. But I'm grateful to be able to get something relatively easily because this is really cool, man. But again, just a really solid metal band, you know. I'm like specific hype points on this, but I played it like half a dozen times the week I got it and was fucking all over it. So, what else can I say? Austria was a tough one for me. I could barely name any bands from fucking Austria. So I go with Pungent Stench because it might be the only one I have. Oh, that's metal anyway. Might be the only one I have. Period. No, that's not the only one I have. It can't be. Anyway, first Pungent Stench album. This is actually some like Eastern European pressing. Yeah, Final Holocaust. It's a Russian press. It's like from the '80s though. I think this is like this is late enough that it might have been officially licensed from Nuclear Blast. I really don't know. But it looks nice and it sounds good, so it was cheaper than a fucking original. I got this before that reissue came out recently. Although you know something, man, fuck those two LP set reissues. I hate that shit, man. It was one fucking LP. That was plenty. I don't need fucking disharmonic orchestra. I don't have any disharmonic orchestra though. I like there's that band like No Bros or something like that. They're Austrian too. That I've heard good things about, but I've never had any. I do not have any Pagan Altar in the stack. I have about maybe 20 more records. No Pagan Altar. All right. Coroner, R.I.P. First Coroner. Awesome record. Um, a little bit overshadowed by the fact that Switzerland's a small country and Celtic Frost is from there, I think. But Coroner really kind of got a lot of love when those reissues came out not that long ago. I was actually happy to see so many American Coroner fans. Like Farley was really notable because he's from Georgia, you know what I mean? Like Scott Waters hanging out in New York, you know, surprisingly a little bit less than Farley hanging out in the country in Georgia latching on the Coroner. I'm like, right on, man. Fuck yeah, dude. All right, Exodo from Spain. There aren't a whole lot of Spanish metal records that I really love, but this is on that short list because this is fucking great, man. And look, it gets 10 points for gratuitous nudity right there. Check that shit. And look at them. Fuck yeah, man. That's what you want a metal band to look like. You know, people talk about a band if they sounds hungry. Well, these guys look hungry. Maybe not literally, but they look hungry, if you know what I mean. Fuck yeah. Anyway, this is a great record. All right. Yeah, Messiah from Switzerland. I forgot about them, but you know, some I've never really thought a whole lot of them too. I've got nothing against them. They're okay, but they never really grabbed me. So, all right. Right now, it's time to go to Hungary, and that's because Ezda Lemezd Nem Gepek Hanem Emberek Kesietek. Fuck yeah. Great record, this one. Not really that heavy. Not really as heavy as it looks, but it's just fun to listen to, man. I have this one. I have the first one. And they're really good, man. Fucking Pokol Gep. Given that they've reissued those first couple, I think they're totally worth grabbing. You know, if you don't want to like track down some fucking dealer in Hungary to get originals, I don't blame you. But grab those fucking No Remorse ones or whoever put them out if you have any interest. All right. Oh, okay. I thought I'd forgotten a country for a second there. All right, these guys are from Bulgaria. This is Impulse or Impulse. Yeah, and this is actually kind of wimpy given what it looks like. And like they look a little bit old to be playing this kind of music, so maybe this is some weird like Bulgarian cash in. I think this is right around 90-ish. Although this might be a little library notation there with the bibliothèque, in which case that might be they got it in '89. Anyway, it's a great cover, man. I mean, I couldn't pass on this shit. Look at that. It's fucking poorly drawn. It's guitar axe. Fuck yeah, dude! Look at these guys, man. Here, check. I mean, this guy in particular. Sorry, this camera's kind of bullshit. But can you see this? That guy in the middle in particular. That face tells me the coke in Bulgaria sucks. Shit, I just brought up my fucking settings for a second here. Hang on. All right, there we go. Anyway, this is a good record, but you know it's not really worth hunting down. Impulse. There's it's not as good as like that Ahat band from Bulgaria. I feel like I might have one or two others, but this record's pretty good. This is my Yugoslavian entry. Again, where are they from? I think it says on here Novi Sad. All right. Oh shit, we're challenging my geography a little bit here. Anyway, this is the first Anathema record. The second record by them is actually seems to be really highly regarded. This one, not quite so much. This is it's solidly metal in intent, but it vibes out more like a hard and heavy record. And it's okay, but it's not great, you know. I mean, it's about as good as it looks, which is like Well, that cover is really kind of corny in concept, but the execution is kind of so bad that you kind of like him again. And it's the same thing with the logo. And then like they look like that, and so you're like, you know, something that's pretty honest. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. This one actually says made in Yugoslavia on it, by the way. So yeah, it's a pretty decent record. So Metal Neanderthal, thank you. As far as it comes to looking at records, looking at record covers, and the ability to appreciate a quality one, that's how I fucking built my whole collection. If you just like came over blind and started going through my records, you might notice that there aren't a whole lot of lame covers, relatively speaking. And that's the comment of the day right there. Let's talk metal. Their clothes say Judas Priest, but their hair says Wham. All right, cool. So this is a Conexiuni, kind of a hard and heavy band from Romania. Not really that heavy, but I just really like this record, man. This is almost a joke because I figured I might get some of the same people who turn up in the Gorman Record Night chat. And there's a guy giving me shit about this record recently, or maybe I was giving him shit, I don't remember. But Conexiuni from Romania. Um, shit. Uh-oh. Yeah, really good record. It's funny, like that record, I really like it, but if you really ask me to like really go into detail about what I like about it or whatever, I'd be kind of hard pressed, you know. All right, Iceland, Flames of Hell. There's this one, The Dry Sill. Those are the only records I have from there, I think. So, and yeah, you're right. It would be a plural name, wouldn't it? Well, shit. Well, so it's Flames of Hell, I guess. So this is not an original. This is that sort of, I don't know, actually surprisingly good quality reissue that came out a few years ago. This record really kind of sucks. I mean, people hype it for being early black metal, and yeah, I suppose so, but it's really kind of a piece of shit. But it's kind of funny. Like kind of awesome. I mean, it's actually very funny. Like you listen to this record, it's one of those. If you like the Wheels of Steel record, this is almost as good as that. But it's really not incredible. In contrast with my entry for Czechoslovakia, Drakar, Let Drakar. Yeah, Dragon Music of Prague, Mystic Metal. I don't know what any of that shit means, but this record is so fucking good, man. It rocks so goddamn hard. There's something fucking nasty about this one that's just fucking great. So, fun fact, Iceland was the last place on Earth to be settled by humans. I'd expect it to be before Greenland. All right, going back and forth a little bit here, east and west. It's fine. This wouldn't have been a thing back in the day. Back to Poland with Turbo here. Actually, we just went north from Czechoslovakia. This is just like a really solid thrash record, man. This should be like a thrash classic. This is Cavalleria Satana by Turbo. And this is a reissue. I actually found this on like Amazon or something like that. It's like a $20 reissue. And it took a long time to show up because it got shipped from somewhere, but it really wasn't that expensive. And it's a great record. Like, you know, if you don't have a copy of Rain and Blood, you should get that first. And if you don't have any Destruction or Creator, you should probably get those first. But Turbo's not all that far behind, man. I swear, it's really good. And the cover's funny, too. Speaking of funny covers, here's my Denmark entry, which I'm busting out because you'll note the white border. Great record, but I don't think I really need to talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah, Eric, you're kind of right about the Turbo. They couldn't really decide what style of metal they wanted to play, but yeah, that one. That record's pretty solid all the way through, though. I know you know that one too. So I know they have a whole bunch of records, so I've only ever heard that one. So because again, I wanted to check it out, so I was like, I'm just gonna get the record to see if it's good. All right, you ready for a really obvious one? Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that? Mercyful Fate with the white border. That's right. And you're doing fine, Eric. Don't worry. As far as how many people have heard of these bands. Fraser, you talk about the ZZ Top band, the Moving Sidewalks? Oh, well, hang on. I got a request for the lyric insert. I wasn't going to bother. See, because everyone knows Mercyful Fate. Like, this is just like obvious shit if you watch my channel. I don't know. I feel like a dick saying that. I'm really kind of mostly kidding, but it's kind of true, I realize. So. But then if it's like Stoner Doom you want to hear about on here, it's total fucking amateur hour because I don't know anything about it. Check this out. You see that? There's my lyric sheet. It's really pretty simple. You can almost Xerox it. Actually, you know what's kind of makes me happy about this? This is an A4 size piece of paper as opposed to an 8.5 by 11. Denmark has the oldest recognized flag in the world. Is that true, Eric? I can totally believe that. All right, so what's next? I need another record. I think I'll put on Drakkar. I think we're going to go to an obvious one. Here, try and guess what the obvious one's going to be. Is there an obvious place we haven't visited yet? It's such a fucking mess. Who the hell knows, right? It's all dark over here. I'm trying to like adjust the lighting. I'm trying to be professional. This is what happens. Everything's fucked. It's not really fucked. It's fine. All right. All right, Drakkar. Le Drakkar. Lyric sheet. Check out how sloppy that logo looks on the lyric sheet. It's kind of awesome, isn't it? Come on. And here comes the poster. Look at that shit. Fuck, hang on. Yeah, see that shit? There we go. I gotta finish this fucking topic, man. I can't have Eric on yet. Hey, in a little while, I'm gonna send y'all over to Grown Man Record Night, by the way. I didn't want to start any later than 9 Eastern because Bananas usually goes on about midnight. And if I miss some while they're playing records, that's okay. Even though I usually hang out in there if you're looking for me on a Friday night. But yeah, I always go on and heckle their asses during the thing. Eric, I showed about 3 or 4 African records, but none of them were metal. God, this fucking Drakkar record is so good. You like that fucking Incubus record? I thought about pulling that out, but I just don't have anything good to say about that, man. To the Devil a Daughter by Incubus. I just realized this is my last one. So this is Belgium. We saved the best for last, right? And Full Moon's Eyes is easily my favorite Ostrogoth. Ecstasy and Danger is a good LP, but this fucking EP is fucking fantastic, man. Full Moon's Eyes. So, all right. So this is what you went through. How many is this? Shit. Now, I did say I had 2 bonus records, okay? They are metal. But these guys, I think this is where these bands actually from Spain technically, but this record's Basque. So, you know, up over in the near the border with France in that area, like in the north. Fucking this record, Sutagar, is awesome. And I'll tell you something. Basque is a weird sounding language. Hey, Jurgen, good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, man. Look, he's coming out of this ground. Again, this is a reissue, man. This was cheap too. It's like you think this is like the most obscure thing. They kind of a shitty job with the cover. The originals look cooler. But you know, I got this from some clown on eBay for like $20. It's like a sealed copy. It's like one of these big places where if they don't make any money off, they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So, Darkheart is a good choice for least favorite new wave British heavy metal band. All right, so check this out. This is the other special one. Okay, so these guys technically are Canadian, but these guys are like Inuits. So, yeah, I don't know exactly where they are, but like they're from way the fuck out, like in Nunavut, except it wasn't a fucking. I don't know, is that a province even technically? That's nuts that you dated a Basque girl, Vinyl Richie. You know what we're supposedly the largest population of Basques in the world outside of Spain is Boise, Idaho. So, and I've asked Paul about it because I've never been to Boise. I've driven through a corner of Idaho, but I've never been to Boise. And he was like, you know, I didn't really think about it, but there are a lot of Basque restaurants and shit around. So one of these days I want to go out and visit Paul, and I want to fucking eat some fucking Basque food at the very least. I doubt I'll find any Basques to date while I'm there. I've also been married a long time, you know. Who knows if I even have it anymore, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so these guys, these are sung in like this fucking. I feel like really disrespectful because I don't even know what the language is called. But I mean, look at these fucking titles. And this isn't really metal, but it's pretty rockin'. Look at those titles, though. You can read them to me, man. Usually, I'm pretty good sport about like, um, you know, trying to pronounce names in weird languages and shit. Because I figure, whatever. I mean, I'll make an ass out of myself. That's what I come on here for in the first place, right? So, all right. Well, that was it. So let's see what's going on in the chat here. Quite a few Basques in Bakersfield, apparently. Yeah, I totally believe that. I didn't know there were so many Armenians in Southern California either. Like you always hear about Fresno, you know, but like Glendale, I guess, is next afterwards. And like when I lived in LA, I had a Persian barber. Was here? No, actually, I don't know if he was Armenian. I think I'm thinking of someone else. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Texas metal, dude. I could do a whole fucking video on Texas metal. But see, this whole thing happened because I hadn't done an entry yet. I mean, obviously, the fucking contest is over, right? But I wanted to do Mercyful Metal's contest entry, but I knew it was going to be long, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'll kill two birds with one stone. I haven't been here forever. So here I am, man. So seriously, did anyone count? Because I didn't. And I'm not going to. So I'm kind of curious. That's funny. Yeah, and the Northern Canadian qualifies its own nation. That Northern Canadian is shit, man. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Um, yeah, I don't know if I should say this. Okay, a little bird told me that on Man Cave of Doom they might be doing something with talking about like bands from different states, and well, the connection between that is the Alaskan bands that I'm aware of because there aren't very many, but they're really kind of off by themselves, you know, literally. So Charlie, you got 38 there, so I think I got beat. I don't even think I'm the most here. Now again, I didn't count a lot of those countries. I didn't. No, you did not miss New Zealand. I don't think I have anything from New Zealand. If there's something I might have from New Zealand that you can tell me about, then go ahead. Hey Brian, we did a little tribute to you earlier, man. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you on. See, brother Brian is always welcome on my streams. Although I suppose it's easier when I'm just on here talking to myself and not like letting people on for real. So, dude, Texas is the shit for metal. I'm totally not kidding. Like, if you asked me, if you said, okay, for the rest of your life, you can only listen to California bands or Texas bands, I'd have to think about it really hard. So, anyway, that's what I've got. Yeah, Hootie from South Carolina. Dude, there's better shit from South Carolina. There's this band Carnage from Colombia that made a pretty good metal record. You might even, I don't know if you'd see that around there. The population of the state's kind of shifted around, I think. I want to say Maniacs is from the upstate, though, although they might be from Colombia, too. And then Attico's from here. Oh, they only had like a demo out, but they're from Ladson. That's like right up the street from me. So yeah, Hellstar's good, dude. You want to talk? Got fucking dude. Okay, so Texas metal, man. You want to talk Hellstar? Hellstar's kind of the bottom of the heap for Texas metal, as far as I'm concerned. And that's not because Hellstar is awesome. They're from fucking yeah. I mean, like you bring in fucking Militia and Wizard and fucking Hammerwitch and I mean, yeah, Texas is the shit. Slayer, yeah, exactly. So yeah, California would probably win, but Texas metal. I mean, if we're just talking metal, yeah, man. All right, so what we're going to talk about. I've been doing this for a little more than an hour and a half now, so I'm thinking I might turn into a pumpkin soon anyway. Is Niall from South Carolina? I don't think so. But I suppose they might be. I'd be a little surprised to hear that actually. I've seen Niall a lot of times though, man. Those guys like um, those guys were like the hardest working guys in fucking metal when I was going to a lot of shows. Like I saw them like four times. I didn't go to see them once. They were just always fucking opening, and they were always good too. I really like Niall. So Greenville, yeah, that makes sense because that's where kind of most of the population now is. Greenville is, I mean, South Carolina has like some weird incorporation rules as far as how the cities work. So like, if you look at the biggest cities in the state, they're most of them are in the Charleston area, right? It's like Charleston. It used to be Columbia, but Charleston just edged out Columbia over the last couple of years, and then North Charleston and Mount Pleasant, which are right here, and then like Goose Creek or something. But if you look at where the most population is county by county, it's Greenville County, which is basically like one congressional district on its own too. That was Trey Gowdy's district before he went to join the Trump administration. So anyway, point is there are a lot of people up there, but the cities are all small. You know what I mean? So there's kind of weird imbalance. When you think of this, like where people live in South Carolina, when you think of specific places, they're in the Low Country, or as far as where they actually are, it's a lot more in the Upstate. So yeah, horrendous. I really don't know anything about. So being in South Carolina has been a fucking education for me. I'll tell you. All right, I lost the chat. Let's go over here for a second. Toxic Holocaust guys from Greenville. How about that? No shit. Yeah, it's funny when I lived in California, it was all like sort of a blur to me. You know, I really feel like I've learned a lot about America by moving across the country like this. You know, I mean, on the one hand, I appreciate when people have deep roots in a place, but on the other hand, I mean, you know, like people are kind of the same everywhere. Is kind of my attitude towards it. But on the other hand, like little regional cultures can be really different. You know, so Nuclear Assault's old drummer lives near Clemson. Supposedly, when Terminator X went to like retired from Public Enemy, he went and started an ostrich farm in North Carolina. So I heard it like went out, like he sold it or something like that. But I would love to go visit fucking Terminator X's ostrich farm. I'd even have me, drive to fucking North Carolina to do it. But yeah, South Carolina though doesn't really get as much across the board. All right. Yeah, I was just kind of shit talking a little bit vinyl, but North Carolina really does rule. Like I could see living in North Carolina. That's kind of more my speed in a lot of ways than South Carolina, but I like that South Carolina is so just easy, you know. So Simpsonville, no shit. It's funny they play there. Judas Priest. Eric saw Judas Priest in Simpsonville. You know where Simpsonville, South Carolina is? Neither does anyone else. Except me and Eric and Alan. All right, cool. What are we gonna talk about? That's so funny that you both missed Priest. Okay, so listen, since we're talking about Simpsonville and shit, because I'm sure everyone just wants to hear about this like Carolinas talk, but the South Carolinians for once ganging up here, because that never happens. There are about twice as many people in North Carolina, and it's about twice as big, like by size. So North Carolina pretty much overshadows South Carolina in every way, but we're gonna fucking do this. Um, I forgot what we were doing though. Oh yeah, so check it out. I don't really like driving for shows, and I kind of fucked myself by moving to Charleston that way because we're kind of not near anything. So bands just pass it by a lot. But Demilich, when they came to the states a couple of years ago, they did that like little mini tour. They were supposed to play in fucking Fayetteville, North Carolina, and somehow the idea of driving to that place I found a lot less unpalatable than the idea of driving to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And it's really kind of ridiculous because it's completely arbitrary. But it's like, well, if you're gonna go to some little like no place town, at least it's not like you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna deign to go to Atlanta and then go on to LA, where it's like, well, fuck you then. So yeah, Greenville, all that shit. You probably lived there a lot longer than I have, Eric. Eric, how long have you lived in Greenville? Yeah, I don't know what happened with that Fayetteville thing. I don't even know if that was a real show. But yeah, Fayetteville. Not a lot to like that I've seen in Fayetteville, but I've also haven't spent any time there, so I'll tell you that I love Greensboro. I could see moving there. Then I could be on Grown Man Record Night every week. But guess what? I already am on because they're live, like right now. So yeah, I was a dumbass. I should have driven to Atlanta to see Demilich. By the way, turntablist, you're totally right. But I don't know. Whatever. I sleep fine at night. So yeah, 1 hour to Melbourne. I'm sure everyone plays Melbourne. I mean, if you're going to Australia, why the fuck would you not play in Melbourne? I'm surprised. Perth seems to get more shows than I would expect. I mean, I'm no fucking expert on this shit, but just from like seeing tour dates and shit, I always look now since uh oh, I just spaced his fucking name. Okay, since Chris actually in Perth sent me that care package, and I hope y'all are subscribed to this fucking channel because it's really good. So, yeah, we all miss live shows for sure, but like in Charleston, there are a lot of opportunities that kind of don't come to pass in the first place. So, hang on, I'm just checking something real quick here. Go to the fact machine. Fucking hell, man. All right. So, what are we going to talk about? Spartanburg. That's interesting. All right. God damn it. I can't believe I have 41 fucking people on here. I don't feel right taking off. So we're talking about shows, right? Where's some unlikely places where you've been to shows? Lubbock. Yeah, I could see there being a lot of metal in Lubbock, but not because it's such an important like city as much as because it's in Texas. And in Texas, there you can fucking have a career just in Texas. I mean, didn't Budgie do that? Like Budgie just like basically moved to Texas at one point. Lionel Richie, I'm very unhappy about Syria, about bombing Syria. And you're right, that didn't take long, but we'll leave it there. Do you live in Lubbock or something, Alan? God damn, my fucking computer's making all these goddamn fucking noises. Hang on a sec. Like I think shit's getting plugged in and unplugged or something. It's not because it's happening, it's just because it's a fucking piece of shit. Whatever, I give up. Wow, nowhere in New Hampshire. That's interesting. All right, cool. Well, shit. All right, I'll tell you what. Give me like a minute here because there are 43 people on, so maybe I'll do a tier list or something. Hang on one sec. I'm gonna see if I can figure out something kind of fun to do here. I had an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work though, but let me check this shit out. Hang on. It's funny. I said I'd be right back, but I'm still sitting right here. All right, let me grab a drink. Okay, so I was thinking about doing like a tier list, like a metal record cover tier list. It's like what the Zoomers do now when they're fucking hanging out on here. Does anyone think that'd be fun? Wait, let me know what you think while I'm grabbing a drink here. Fucking Bobby Gass is talking about seeing Janis Joplin, and I'm talking about doing tier lists. That's like a 50-year age difference right there. But he isn't really that much older than me. He isn't even half as much older than me, but look at these fucking settings in here. Like since the last time I did this, they changed their whole fucking interface. John doesn't like the Doors. John Bip Bop Boom, are you talking about there? You know, I kind of think the Doors suck too. I do kind of think it's circus music. Impeccable is really good. That's another one for the fucking Texas list, man. Circus music. I would call the Doors carnival music or circus music, but probably more carnival music because it's, well, no, you know something? Well, I don't know. Carnival, I was going to say, feels more seedy than circus, but circus is pretty seedy too. And see, that's the problem with saying the Doors are like circus music, because if Jim Morrison were smart enough to pick up on the fucking seediness thing, which he probably wouldn't be, but if he were, he'd think he was that smart. If he were that smart, though, then he might go for that, and he'd be like, yeah, that's fucking seedy. We're circus music. And you'd be like, fuck, dude, I was trying to insult you because you suck. No, I don't really hate the Doors, but I don't like Doors. I kind of do hate him, in fact. Except I really only hate Jim Morrison. I think Jim Morrison's a fucking chode. And I have no use for that guy. So he can pretty much fuck off. I'm just fucking around in my settings here. All right, let me put another record. Is anyone interested in that tier list? What do you want to do? Highway off-ramp carnival music. All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to make this work. See, fucking, I'm sitting here telling stories, and Bobby Gass comes in. He goes like, I walked out on Jim Morrison at the Doors gig. Yeah, well, I can't compete with fucking Bobby stories. Okay, so Eric, Mr. Weinbatter, my friend, have just discovered stoner metal, dude. I've gotten so into it. I've been listening to pretty much nothing but that shit. In fact, like everything I've been playing tonight has been like a little unusual. I've been so fucking into that shit. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, if something is on Rise Above or Ripple or a heavy psych, I want to hear it just because of that. You know what I mean? In fact, I'm going to put a fucking Ripple record on right now. Can't see a fucking thing over here. Hang on a second. All right, so this fucking record right here. Has anyone heard of Mount Atlas before? This is like total like fucking. I mean, it's like 70 sounding hard rock. That singer has such a fucking classic AOR tone. I had to listen to this like a few times before I realized that I fucking loved it. And it wasn't like a Foreigner cover band. Because that guy, I swear, he could be fucking Lou Gramm, dude. I don't know if you can hear the shit through there, but you know something else about this record? It's actually listed as a bonus track on here, but you know, I don't know anything about this fucking band. I just kind of blind bought this because it looked cool and I got a deal on it. So, you know, I've spent kind of a lot of time shitting on bonus tracks, but you know what I used to hate that I've really kind of come around to like is when you have a studio album and then there's like a single live track on it. Like, Mommy, Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight on Walk Among Us? When I got my first copy of Walk Among Us, I was like, did someone stick this on as like a bonus track on this reissue or something? Of course, I have an original now, but I didn't back then. And I was like, what the fuck? This is like, it sounds completely different, like them live from like the studio shit, and it's like this completely different band almost stuck to sing it there, just like jarring and shit. I love it now, man. Like the fact that it's kind of jarring and sounds kind of shitty by comparison just kind of makes it awesome, I think. It's funny. Oh, talking about Pharmacy records. I've still never been to Pharmacy. because I found out they existed, and then like COVID hit, basically. I mean, it wasn't like instant, but I usually go up to Greenville a couple times a year, maybe, just for the help for one reason or another. I have something to do up there, which a lot of times is just hanging out and going to record stores. But yeah, pharmacy didn't exist the last time I was up there, man. At least I wasn't aware of them when I looked. I always go to Cabin Floor. I always go to Horizon. Greenville record stores. By the way, Jurgen, I thought you were sleeping, man. Oh, that's interesting about the Earshot. I never went to the Earshot in Greenville. There was one in Charleston for a while that I went to a few times. Didn't really get a lot of great stuff there, but I got a few interesting things. Yeah, a copy of Mama's Boys is still waiting at pharmacy. Yeah, there's fucking there's a reason it's still sitting around there. Asbestos Death. What is that? Is that like some kind of? See, that's kind of a try-hard name for me. That kind of puts me off a little bit. Like Asbestos Death is one word like that. God, this record is so fucking good. That fucking organ is so anachronistic. It's fucking great. Fucking love this shit so much. I should be showing some more Ripple shit kind of soon too. We'll see, but I've shown a bunch lately. It's awesome. People like making plans and shit here. Also, if you're a cop and you're watching this, when people are talking about meeting at pharmacy, that's code. Okay, that's code for the rest stop. That's halfway between Greenville and Spartanburg. It's on the westbound side of the highway. These guys know which rest stop I'm talking about. So I'm sitting here talking this shit. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed to Let's Talk Metal, you're making a mistake. His channel's newer than some of us here. I think he's been at it like a year now or something. Dude's been watching for a long time though. He has some great fucking records, and like his fucking videos are like, let's discuss this shit. It's like sort of. I feel like I'm overhyping it a little if I say like intellectual about it, but it's like it's definitely like a sort of a thoughtful discussion of some of this shit instead of just like throwing out like little lines like I do, and. All right. So we are kind of heading towards time for Grown Man Record Night, so I think I'm gonna let it go. But yeah, not Scholastic, although I think of this is the metal theologian part, right? Use the word Scholastic, and I think of like medieval, like monastic philosophy, like fucking John the Scot and guys like that, the Scholastics. So, all right, so cool. Listen, while I have y'all, what do you think of the idea? I've thought about doing a couple tier lists. They're like websites. I'm not kidding. I think this fucking shit's hilarious. So, it might not necessarily be metal. Like I want to do record covers because it's easy to do, and if you're watching, you don't necessarily have to know the record to like dig a funny cover. And it's funny. The Glowman record that's playing the Cult right now. BK like fill us in on that. That's helpful. That's so funny. Actually, I love Glowman record night. Y'all know I'm like their biggest devotee, pretty much. But I'm not gonna listen to the Cult. If I go over there and the Cult record is still playing, I'm gonna put on my own record. I'll hang out and say like, "Hey, what's up?" in the chat, like make a joke about Cox or something like that. Oh shit! Now I did something with this fucking thing here. Okay, there we are. All right. So anyway, what do you think about the tier list today? Okay, Eric Bauer says do it. And yeah, like they're like horror movie tier lists and shit like that. And it's like there's just software, you know what I mean? It's like the fucking kids are doing it. Like search for tier list and thing. That's just bullshit. You know what I mean? Just ranking shit. But um fuck. All right. So I don't know. I'll try to do this a little more often because I've been lazy on fucking videos, but this is always fucking fun. I really appreciate y'all coming out, you know, hanging out like this. And I hope this doesn't sound shitty, but like with all the sort of drama that's been happening around some of these live streams, you know, and I say this being basically cool with everyone involved. You know what I mean? I flipped some shit at Brother Brian earlier because I'm probably tighter with him, but I've got no beef with Rachel, and I like Davis a lot. And, you know, I'm not necessarily on these streams, but you know, I've got no beef with anyone. But like, when you have people talking with each other that much, there's gonna be fucking drama. So hopefully, there's been like the live stream vibe with a little bit of respite from some of the bad shit that comes with that. And again, not to shit anyone on anyone, you know, I'm cool with everyone, and you'll see me in their chats. But yeah, I appreciate y'all showing up. I hate to say ring the bell, but you will get notified when I go live if you do that. I'll try to be better about like putting a thing ahead of time too, like I did today. So, all right, seriously, thank you everyone for watching. It's been fun, and I'll try and be back before another 2 weeks. I might not have the mustache anymore. This is really starting to get fucking annoying. So, thanks for watching. Totally appreciate it, everyone.